Hello my cryptographers. Welcome to a run analysis video on the Beam Commando build. That's what I call it anyway. This is the first time I do one of these things, so bear with me if the video editing is rather subpar. Starting out, you can see that I stay in close mid-range to maximize my primary skill's accuracy. I also try to line up the overloading beetles to hit them with the phase round's pierce. Assuming you haven't played this game long, don't be scared to use all of your skills to kill any enemy. The cooldowns you have on all of your skills are relatively short, and you can spare the waiting time more often than not. And coming up is a very good example of what not to do with Commando's third skill, his utility dodge roll. Ignoring the failure of my one brain cell there, a very nifty feature to note early game is that phase round or using any of your skills actually resets your primary attack's accuracy. It's very good for when you wish to snipe an enemy at distance with both your secondary and primary attacks. As you can see, in the tri-terminal shop, I opted for backup magazine. It's very good on Commando because the phase round is his only means of doing collateral damage early game, and it also does good damage in general. It addresses Commando's biggest flaws when you don't have his other skills unlocked yet. His lack of damage and his lack of crowd control. It also goes through objects and terrain, which is a nifty feature. It lets you be more free with how you aim the projectile, even though the projectile itself is already limiting in how you aim for optimal damage. Going into the teleporter event, I actually buy a gunner turret to help me with obtaining aggro from enemies and having my back so I don't get immediately overwhelmed with the initial spawning wave. My gunner turret is helping by keeping wisps off of me and also keeping beetles from limiting my movement. Luckily the first boss is Beetle Queen, and she goes down quickly without a fight thanks to the Royal Capacitor. Here I question whether or not it would be worth it to have Royal Capacitor or the Ocular HUD. While I do leave the Ocular HUD, I actually do come back to take it to the next level over the Royal Capacitor. I believe it has more uses than the Royal Capacitor, and it takes away the need to get Lensmaker glasses. Here I demonstrate not just the aim reset of the skills, but also the knockback effect on light flying enemies. It actually does save me some health when a blazing jellyfish gets a tad too close. And always remember to note the sounds enemies make when they spawn. It could save you some health. Beetle Queen comes back for revenge, but thanks to Ocular HUD, she goes down with even less of a fight than previously. She spawns a lot of beetles, however, which lets me take advantage of Berserker's Pauldron and unleash a maelstrom of bullets upon an unsuspecting stone golem. Here I demonstrate the fall damage exploit that can be taken advantage of by certain characters and equipment. By hitting this blazing wisp into the log bridge, the game registers the velocity as it falling, so when its physical hitbox hits the log bridge, it does fall damage and kills it quickly. This is what I believe happens, but it could also be entirely intentional and just a knockback kill. Assuming you don't know how equipment works, it's basically a reusable item that does a powerful effect with a large cooldown. Here I use the equipment system to my advantage and quickly swap out my ocular HUD for the radar scanner, which lets me see all the interactables on the stage. Timing your dodge roll is crucial when you wish to avoid fall damage. This comes in handy when the bosses or enemies you fight can send you high into the air. For example, the Stone Titan's punch attack. Here I make a large mistake and opt for the combat shrine. Very unluckily, I spawn a single blazing golem with a metric ton of health and one-shot capabilities, while the AI director spawns a greater wisp and a pack of blazing Lemurians. Never be too prideful to tactically retreat. It could save a run. As I open this large chest, the Beam Commando's primary and required item reveals itself: Brain Stocks. This item is what makes the Beam Commando possible. Ah yes, the Imp Overlord. One of the toughest bosses to fight is Commando with its surprisingly fast speed and bleed DOT. The biggest thing you want to do in this fight is not waste your dodge roll. Use it to escape the Imp Overlord's teleport attack if you're cornered, and his ground punching attack. Always keep moving to avoid any oncoming fire from other enemies, like this Wisp Horde. After the teleporter event, I get some sweet revenge on the Greater Wisp. Grab a few more items including Strides of Heresy, which changes Commando's dodge roll, or anyone's utility skill, to an invincible healing skill, and head to the Lunar Item Shop. Hey, what's up, Newt? Here, I pick up some beads of fealty for the final boss of Risk of Rain 2. Gesture of the Drowned so I no longer have to worry about using my ocular HUD manually, and trade some of my items for Dio's best friend for the extra life. With that, the build comes to its usable potential. Laser beam chains. done by abusing brain stocks in Commando's 4th skill, Rapid Fire. With Ocular HUD active, the damage is enough to shred any enemy in your path. The 4th teleporter boss is another imp overlord, and with the beam commando build, they easily get shredded like paper, as soon as an elite enemy falls anyway. After picking up the Chrono Bauble, I remember that the guaranteed legendary chest spawns on this level. I go to its area, and seeing that the price is within my range, I go hunt some stray crabs and the chest is mine. A cause for ceremony. Here it's always important to show to never get cocky, no matter your build. One hit from a glacial brass contraption took away 80% of my entire health bar, which brings me a reminder that I have no healing items. Luckily, the nearby Tri-Terminal shop has a harvester side. And here, we play some good old Risk of Rain 2. Magma Worms, one of the most loved bosses from Risk of Rain 1 to Risk of Rain 2. They obtained a lot of love. Luckily, their AI went to attack my gunner turrets on the other side of the map instead of focusing me. I make somewhat quick work of them, and leave. Here, I abused the fall damage exploit on the Celestine Wisp to erase it from existence, but its friends must have heard me, because I immediately get jumped like I was in the wrong neighborhood by a bunch of glacial stone golems. And yes, any one hit from those glacial stone golems would have instantly killed me. From here on out, it's just about getting to the obliteration obelisk. Pro tip: the Stone Titan's laser beam attack doesn't go through living enemies' bodies, so you can use your enemies to your advantage and avoid the laser that way if there is no cover nearby. No way. Is that? Old guillotine printer. With this, the beam commando reaches a near optimal level. Another humbling hit to remind you that just because you have some rusty guillotines doesn't mean regular enemies aren't a threat. And with the rusted key, the build reaches optimal levels. Clay Dune Strider. As long as you stay away when its health reaches below 25%, it should be no problem. Weird tarball physics. So after I kill some beetles, this happens.
Surprise, motherfucker!
And not even 10 seconds later.
You picked the wrong house, fool!
Really? I strategically avoid the largest threats after disposing of the Blazing Clay Templar, and activate the teleporter after getting hit by a tenacious cultivated wisp. Home stretch. No imp overlords will stop me. I head into a moment fractured and obliterate myself, but do you remember? I have the beats of fealty, so it's not over yet. Behold, Whip Whip the Wild. Unfortunately, the Beam Commando build here is absolutely useless, so I keep my distance the entire time to prevent getting one-shot and absolutely destroyed. I'll speed up the footage here so you don't have to sit through 10 minutes of shooting. If he doesn't pick up personal shield generators, that'd be great.
Bruh.
Okay, but please don't pick up tougher times.
Boy, if you don't get...
Okay, as long as you never shoot at me.
What are you doing?
What am I doing?
What are you doing?
Nothing much.
What my plans?
What are your plans?
Are you?
Yes.
Anyway, I started blasting.
Down goes Whip Whip at the cost of all my drones and turrets. You will be missed. And there you have it. The Beam Commando run, success. This is done on Rainstorm for education purposes, but can be done on Monsoon if you wish. Side note, I really like the auras of the items when the screen blacks out like this. Hope you all learned a thing or two. Leave a like and comment down below a build of items you want to see get analyzed in a run. See you later.